But I think we have to be realistic too that the cost of doing business for government has gone up too. So we've got to factor that in to some extent. All right, we're gonna have a certain level of spending. What are we spending it on? But it's a much larger kind of discussion. So interestingly
it's
enough,
a good discussion to have for the state though, as we grow, and
sure.
now we have 24 million people. Hillsborough County has like 1.6 million. I mean,
yeah.
it's a good time to talk about the fiscal responsibilities of the state and of the citizens and the tax and how it all interacts going forward. I think it's completely appropriate. How it shakes out.
Well, yeah,
we'll see.
absolutely. And interestingly enough, I think that along those lines, it's always important to have those discussions. But I think we have to be realistic too that the cost of, in the same way as individually, when we sit around the kitchen table and try to figure out, can we take a vacation? Can we not? How much groceries can we build? It's different, but it's still somewhat the same. The cost of doing business for government has gone up too. So we've got to factor that in to some extent. And interestingly, I had a discussion with the mayor or I was on a panel with the mayor of Temple Terrace this week. And so when he's tried to look at certain things, like he wanted to cut back garbage pickup, like, to once a week. And like the neighborhoods were like crazy.
Yeah.
No way. Right. But it would have saved a lot of money for the city. And then ultimately they could have passed that on to the taxpayers. But no, we don't want that smell. We want it picked up twice. So you can't, to some extent, we've got to have, and I think that's the very sober discussion needs to be, all right, we're going to have a certain level of spending. What are we spending it on? Right. And so right now people are about, to me, and what I'm as personally interested in is, my coaching background, what the blocking and tackling, the nuts and bolts, the things that affect you on a daily basis, the pothole that's still there, that stuff. They want to see the spending that's on the the necessities.
Any organization that,
so I think that's what the taxing authorities, would it be the city, the county, and others, and a lot of the discussion, they're talking so much about the cities and the counties. Remember, taxing authorities, there's a bunch of other taxing authorities out there, like the Port Authority, Aviation Authority, school board, that all are part of this as well, that need to be brought into that discussion.
Absolutely. You mentioned you were a part of the Florida legislature. What's your, and then you said you're a coach, your nickname's coach.
Yeah.
How'd you become the property appraiser? Talk to me about your sort of origin story.
My origin, I was born and raised here. I'm fifth generation. And my great-grandfather was last mayor of West Tampa, became part of the city of Tampa in 1925. So 100 years ago. Ironically, I was in
great-grandfather?
Great-grandfather.
Okay.
100 years ago, the West Tampa became part of the city of Tampa. Temple Terrace was created, so it's interesting. My cousin Lou Delaparte was a state senator as well. I was always fascinated with public service and politics. It was sort of in the family, although I was the first in my family to graduate from college. I went to Tampa Catholic and graduated from Princeton University. I had a Z at the end of my name. I could knock people down, so they let me come. And so. But I always had this great opportunity. I was blessed to go away and came back. I always wanted to come back to this community and give back to the community, and sort of led me over the course of time. I've always worked, a real job, both with Hillsborough County and Planning and Growth Management and the Planning Commission, and then in the private sector as well. And then I coached high school football at Tampa Catholic for many years, and also a stint at Jefferson and others. So that's where the coach part of it came from. And I actually had one of my boss at Hillsborough County. Came to me one time and he said, I don't know if I should say this, but he gave me $1. And he said, I said, what's this for? And he said, well, this is your first campaign contribution. I said, I'm not running for anything, Steve. And he said, you will. And so I put it in an envelope and put campaign contribution. I put it in my drawer. And it was the first $1 I ever deposited with another $99 of my own dollars to start my first campaign, account.
Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.